Picture this. It's a dreary Monday. You're running on caffeine fumes, and your workday mojo feels like a phone stuck at 2% battery. Out of habit, more than hope, you reach over to the little quartz tower parked next to your keyboard. Give it an absent-minded spin, and for a brief moment, you swear the office lights look brighter. Almost as if someone nudged a cosmic dimmer switch. Sound familiar? Whether you chalk that pop of clarity up to geology, psychology, or plain coincidence, that tiny crystal point just hijacked your attention. And that, my curious friend, is where our adventure begins. By the end of this chat, you'll know what crystal points are, why pharaohs, monks, and modern engineers all cared about them, how they can fit into everything from meditation corners to shelfies, and, most importantly, how to choose and care for one without feeling like you need an advanced degree in mineralogy or metaphysics. Let's strip things back to basics before our imaginations start levitating. A crystal point is simply a mineral that has grown or been shaped into a six-sided prism that narrows into a sharp apex. Think of a tiny skyscraper that Mother Earth spent millennia constructing atom by atom. In nature, you'll spot these in quartz geodes, amethyst cathedrals, or even stubby, smoky quartz that look like enchanted root vegetables. Lapidaries often hand-polish rough chunks into symmetrical towers so they'll stand upright. But the underlying geometry remains faithful to nature's blueprint. 6 elongated faces meeting at an angle of roughly 60 degrees. That specific formation isn't random. It's dictated by the internal lattice where silicon and oxygen atoms lock together in a repeating pattern as neat as brickwork. The result is a piece of matter that looks like it's been laser-cut by the universe itself. Whether your point is a penny-sized sliver or a forearm-length wand, the defining feature is that spear-like tip, an architectural statement saying, "Energy, this way, please." Human fascination with these gleaming arrows of stone is older than your grandmother's sourdough starter. Picture ancient Egypt around 2500 BCE. Priests laid clear quartz points on the foreheads of mummified pharaohs, believing the crystalline tip would direct royal souls through the star-strewn duet, an astral highway to the afterlife. Flash forward to ancient Greece, and you'll find scholars coining the word krustallos, convinced quartz was literally water frozen so hard by the gods it would never thaw. Roman soldiers, meanwhile, carried tiger's eye points in leather pouches, claiming the golden shimmer sharpened their courage on the battlefield. Fast forward again, this time to Edo-era Japan, where samurai tucked tiny quartz or jade points into armor plates, trusting that the stone's orderly structure would lend martial focus. Jump one more continent to 17th century Europe. Physician and occultist Robert Fludd chronicled the use of rock crystal spearlets to draw illness from the body. Different centuries, languages, and belief systems, yet the same intuition persisted. A pointed stone wasn't just decoration, but a directional tool, a spiritual compass needle for invisible forces. Of course, the modern era demanded proof beyond folktales, and that's where science crashed the party. Quite politely, actually. In 1880, brothers Jacques and Pierre Curie discovered the piezoelectric effect while tinkering with quartz slivers in their Paris lab. Squeeze or bend the crystal and, voila, it emitted a measurable electric charge. That finding laid the groundwork for quartz-regulated clocks, sonar, and even cell phone chips. So yes, every time your smartwatch nags you to stand up, thank a tiny quartz oscillator humming away at a precise frequency. Crystal points are also pyroelectric, meaning they generate voltage when heated or cooled. In plain speak, temperature and pressure coax electrons to migrate inside the lattice, creating a voltage differential between base and tip. Even if you never crack open a physics textbook, the notion that a rock can double as an electrical component is mind-bending enough to make you look twice at that glittery paperweight on your desk. All right, theory lesson over. Let's roll up our sleeves and talk practical uses. First stop, meditation. Imagine you're sitting cross-legged on a yoga mat that's seen better days. You nestle a rose quartz point in your palm, apex angled toward your sternum. On the inhale, you picture gentle blush pink light flowing into your chest. On the exhale, tension trickles down the stone and out through the point like steam from a kettle. Is your apartment suddenly quieter? Probably not, but giving your restless mind something tactile and visually soothing to focus on can deepen breath rhythms and pull you out of doom scroll mode faster than you can mutter algorithm. That's not metaphysics, that's neurobiology. Engaging sensory pathways calms the brain's default mode network. The same region an MRI study in 2019 found to dial down when participants held crystals, glass lookalikes, or even smooth pebbles while setting intentions. Next application, manifestation rituals. Grab a note card, jot down a goal. Anything from write my novel to survive family dinner without drama. Fold the card, place a clear quartz point on top, tip aimed skyward. The paper keeps you accountable. The stone, according to lore, beams your intention into the universe like a shiny antenna. Maybe the universe is listening. Maybe the real magic is that you'll see the card every morning and remember to outline chapter 1 instead of doom scrolling. Either way, the method harnesses both subconscious priming and a pinch of theatrical flair, which never hurts motivation. Crystal grids take the stage when you crave bigger spectacle, or when your coffee table feels empty. Arrange multiple points around a centerpiece stone in shapes like a flower of life or a simple hexagon, apexes all converging inward. Enthusiasts say the setup circulates energy in a loop, amplifying any intention placed in the middle. Even skeptics admit the final display can rival modern art, which explains why interior designers sneak crystal grids into magazine shoots. Want to scale things down? Place a smoky quartz point at your feet during savasana, tip facing away, to drain stress, and perch a vibrant citrine point near your solar plexus, tip inward, to charge confidence. Whether you label the session energy work or mindful rest, the undeniable outcome is that you lie still for 15 minutes, a victory in itself. Crystal points can pull double duty as decor. Prop a chunky tower beside your houseplants. The angular sparkle contrasts beautifully with leafy textures. Or group several palm-sized points of different colors inside a shallow dish for an instant color therapy vignette. Add a pinpoint LED underneath, and you've got a mini light show whenever the sun dips below the horizon. No, the glow won't rearrange your chakras, but it might elevate your living room mood lighting to Instagram-worthy status. Ready to shop? Deep breaths. You're about to enter a realm where price tags swing harder than a grandfather clock. First criterion, clarity. Glass clear quartz commands higher prices, but inclusions, those wispy clouds and rainbow sparkles, make each piece unique. Decide whether you crave pristine transparency or a micro-galaxy swirling inside your stone. Second, size. A 2-inch point disappears in a pocket. A stealthy worry stone for commute anxiety. A towering 8-inch amethyst point feels like the boss of your bookshelf, reminding you and every visitor that you've got your aesthetic, and maybe your energy, under control. Third, color and mineral type. Clear quartz is the Swiss Army knife. Amethyst leans calming. Citrine shouts optimism. Smoky quartz feels like an energetic air purifier. Let your instincts and budget steer the cart. Finally, ask questions about origin. Was the specimen mined by a small co-op using hand tools? Or was it part of a large-scale blasting operation that flattened habitats? Ethical sourcing isn't just a buzz phrase. It keeps entire crystal-producing communities afloat while limiting environmental scars. Caring for your new geologic roommate is blissfully low-tech. Dust it with a microfiber cloth to keep facets gleaming. For an energetic reset, you've got options. A quick rinse under lukewarm water symbolically washes away static vibes. Skip this if your crystal is selenite, kyanite, or any mineral that dissolves or flakes. Sunbathing works too. An hour of dawn or late afternoon light recharges quartz varieties, though prolonged harsh sunlight can fade amethyst or rose quartz. Moonlight is gentler and carries its own romantic appeal. Leave your point on a windowsill during a full moon and collect it with your morning coffee. Sound cleansing is arguably the least messy. A few strikes of a Tibetan singing bowl or a chime set vibrations dancing through the lattice, like shaking crumbs out of a picnic blanket. Is the stone actually storing negative energy, or is the ritual simply resetting your mindset? Maybe both. The important part is pausing to re-anchor your intention. Time for some myth-busting. No crystal point, no matter how flawlessly polished, can replace professional medical treatment. It cannot shrink tumors, reverse diabetes, or guarantee a winning lottery ticket. It also cannot pull curses from your bloodstream or fix your Wi-Fi. What stones can do, backed by measurable data, is enhance relaxation, attention, and expectation. A trio that lowers stress hormones, improves sleep quality, and nudges the brain toward creative problem-solving. The 2019 MRI study from the University of Sussex revealed that participants who believed in crystal healing, whether they held genuine quartz or dyed glass, exhibited reduced default mode network activity and increased salience network engagement, the neural recipe for mindfulness. Translation: your belief system and sensory focus conspired to quiet mental chatter. That's not cargo cult mysticism, that's neuroscience. Placebo doesn't mean fake. It means your mind is a potent pharmacist capable of mixing endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin on demand. The crystal, in this frame, is a shiny prescription bottle reminding you to take your internal medicine. Still, beware of common pitfalls. One misconception suggests points must always face a specific cardinal direction or they'll leak energy. Helpful for compass makers, less critical for your nightstand. Another rumor says broken tips are useless. Not true. The lattice remains intact. The point simply directs energy over a slightly different angle. In fact, some healers intentionally chip a corner to create a self-healed surface they believe intensifies transformative vibes. And no, placing 20 points in a circle around your Wi-Fi router will not block 5G signals. What it might block is your friend's path to the snack cabinet, so choose placement wisely. All right, let's wrap things up and send you back to your regularly scheduled scrolling, hopefully with a fuller mental battery than when we started. A crystal point is many things at once. A geological wonder that has been ticking away beneath Earth's crust since dinosaurs roamed. A cultural artifact linking pharaohs, monks, and gamers who keep one next to their mechanical keyboard. A practical tool in engineering labs and meditation studios alike. And, perhaps most importantly, a conversation starter between you and your own intentions. The next time your focus fizzles, reach for that quartz skyscraper. Breathe deep and ask yourself where you'd like your attention to flow. Maybe aim the tip at your to-do list, your heart, or the screensaver of northern lights dancing across your monitor. Experiment, observe, tweak. Think of the stone as both compass and mirror, pointing outward, reflecting inward. Now take that tiny geological lightning rod, give it a respectful nod, and let it remind you of one simple truth. Energy follows attention. Wherever you point yours is where the real magic happens. So go on, test the rituals, laugh at the quirks, geek out over the science. The next bright moment of clarity might just be one mindful breath, one tiny pivot of a crystal point away.